Please welcome from Metallica, Lars Ulrich.
Good evening. I am Lars Ulrich, and I am, that's right. And I am seriously fucking honored to be here. For Christmas, my middle son gave me this coat. And seriously, I literally just took the tack off it backstage. The color, I kid you not, says deep purple. Seriously. Can you guys pass this around so you can see I'm not making it up? Anyway, I'm gonna go off this one instead of that one, just in case. I love you too. This night is a culmination of two musical journeys. One is mine, the other is that of the band that changed my life and rock and roll. When I was 9 years old, my dad took me to see Deep Purple in Copenhagen, Denmark, on a dark, cold Saturday night in February 1973. Everything was larger than life. The sound, the spectacle, the songs, the musicians, all doing things with their instruments that I'd never seen before and didn't even know were possible. Deep Purple were a beautiful contradiction. Like you had just walked in on 5 musicians at the top of their game, jamming one classic after another with raw intensity as if they were in a garage playing for no one but themselves, yet at the same time projecting a 1,000-yard deep stare into the bowels of the arena. Yeah, that's right, bowels, he said bowels. Let me break this down for you. Singer Ian Gillan, where are you, Ian? Right there. That's right. God, you guys look awesome. Singer Ian Gillan, center stage, a magnet for the eyes, personifying every trait of epic frontman coolness, screaming his lungs out and reaching notes so high, I'm sure he was breaking glass all over town. Behind him on the drums, little Ian Pace, a rock and roll cocktail of hair, sweat, spit, and precision, somehow managing to wipe the steam off his glasses as he pressed this freight train forward, and doing it in 8-inch platform heels. Very impressive, Ian. Very impressive. At stage right, the regal John Lord. I'd never seen, that's right. We love John Lord, yes we do. I had never seen anyone get so physical with his organ. But I was only 9. He did things with the Hammond C3 that no one had ever done before, firing the results through a wall of Marshall amps and Leslie speakers, uniquely heavying up the sound into uncharted territory. Let me emphasize this, John Lord was the first to truly amplify and distort the Hammond organ. Sadly, we lost him in 2012. Bassist Roger Glover, cowboy hat, paisley shirt, next level smoothness, the one keeping it grounded, groovy, and dare I say, sexy. I just said it. His eagle-less stage presence supported the crossfire energies of his bandmates, disguising a firm vitality as both songwriter and co-producer of the biggest records. And then there was Richie fucking Blackmore. What he did with the guitar did not seem feasible. He played it straight, he played it sideways, upside down and all around. His fingers, hands, arms in a constant ballet of movement and unpredictable motion. The sounds, the screeches, the pick slides, grinding against the speakers, playing it with his ass, his boots, throwing it in the air, all the time projecting a peculiar mix of showmanship, control, and aloofness. It was like Blackmore was showing off, but mostly for himself, hovering on the edge of electric narcissism. At the same time, he was so beyond cool, it was just impossible to look away. These guys could play, that's right. I'm ready to go all night. So this is the advantage of being first. These guys could play, they could improvise. They were in constant and curious cutthroat competition with each other to take the music someplace new, someplace unknown, and never ever the same place twice. Fast forward 12 hours later to the local mom and pop record store where I requested anything and everything by Deep Purple and was promptly handed the Fireball album. My life had officially changed forever. With almost no exceptions, every hard rock band of the last 40 years, including mine, traces its lineage back directly to Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and Deep Purple. That's right. And as far as I'm concerned, these three bands should always be considered equals for their songwriting, their recordings, and their accomplishments. Where I grew up, and in the rest of the world outside of North America, all were equal in stature and influence. So in my heart, and I know I speak for many of my fellow musicians and millions of Purple fans when I confess that I am somewhat bewildered that they are so late in getting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Decades after the mighty Sabbath and the brilliant Zeppelin. This is, of course, no disrespect to those bands or the Rock Hall. I just have to make clear that Deep Purple are as revered everywhere else in the world. And there's the rest of the world applauding. Deep Purple became big the old-fashioned way. They worked hard. Constant touring, making an album a year, sometimes two, never giving a shit about image or critical acclaim. And in the golden age of rock and roll debauchery, they were known primarily for their music. In the sex and drug sense, they were reportedly gentlemen through and through. In fact, if you must dig, the main dirt on Deep Purple was the revolving door of personnel. 10 different band members in the first 7 years, 14 in total. Let me, of course, give a well-deserved shout-out to everyone else who has played a part in this story, including the 3 other inductees tonight. I saw 2 of them in their live debuts when Deep Purple came back to Copenhagen in December 1973, right? Singer David Coverdale, who blew... Singer David Coverdale, who blew me away with his unique bluesy pipes and the quirky mic stand. What the hell was that about? What was that about? And bassist Glenn Hughes, bassist Glenn Hughes, white satin suit, and way cool rocker hair to go with his R&B influenced vocals. And last, but actually first, original singer Rod Evans, who was the voice of the formative Purple in the late 1960s and on the first hit single, Hush. Don't be shy. So from the 8 inductees tonight to the 14 band members who have played in this band, it's obvious that great music often comes from tension, and what great music it was. The albums, just to name a few, The Book of Taliesin, In Rock, Fireball, Machine Head, Burn, Stormbringer. And with phenomenal songs, just to name a few, Wring That Neck, Black Knight, Speed King, Child in Time, Strange Kind of Woman, Highway Star, The Woman from Tokyo, Mistreated, the list goes on. You know, one total mindfuck is the difference between the studio and the live versions. If you take Space Truckin', for instance, on Machine Head it clocks in at just around 4 minutes. On the legendary album Made in Japan, it's almost 20 minutes long. What happened to that era? The solos, the jamming, the impulsive force in every Deep Purple performance are the reason Wikipedia lists 42 official live albums. I kid you not. Because they were that good, that different, and that inspired every night. And they still are. Damn right they still are. But wait, there's one more song, right? The one everybody knows about, Frank Zappa in a burning casino on a Swiss lake, fires up in the sky, something, right? The one featuring perhaps the most classic guitar riff of all time, the first thing anybody learns on a guitar, the riff that has actually been banned from being played in music stores to preserve the sanity of the staff. Once again, an absolute truth. The riff that even I, the most illiterate guitar player in the known universe, can actually play. Yeah. Thank you. You know the title, Smoke on the Water. Well, come on then. That's right. It's the signature hit and the biggest single, and so huge that Deep Purple may have been mistaken for a one-hit wonder. But if that's all you know, even to this day, think of it as a big, heavy door into a legacy without end, one that remains as vital as ever in its latest incarnation, touring the world, blowing minds, and still changing lives. There's a picture on the nightstand next to my bed. Once again, I kid you not, given to me long ago by my buddy Frank. It's a photo of Deep Purple with my face photoshopped on top of Ian Pace. Sorry, Ian. It was a present. That's how much Deep Purple still means to me, to the fans here tonight, and to the millions of followers. That's right. That's right. To the fans here tonight and to the millions of followers around the world who look upon Deep Purple as epic, unpredictable, energetic, cool, intense, brilliant, impulsive, spontaneous, mesmerizing, jaw-dropping, otherworldly, relentless, pioneering, and ultimately timeless. Ritchie Blackmore, David Coverdale, Rod Evans, Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, Glenn Hughes, John Lord, Ian Pace. They should have been here a long time ago. They are now here where they belong. I've always wanted to say this. Please welcome to the stage and to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Give it up for Deep Purple.
Well, thank you, Lars. That was amazing. Oops. I'm speechless. Almost. This is a great honor, and it's very humbling to be amongst this exalted company. I would just like to mention briefly the names of all the people who've been in Deep Purple, whether we've been indicted or not. And starting at the beginning, not only Rod Evans, but also Nick Simper, who played bass in the original band with Ian Pace, Ritchie Blackmore, and our beloved John Lord. Then Roger Glover came along, and I came with him. After that was David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes. And then Tommy Bolin and Jolyn Turner. And a brief but very important year with Joe Satriani. 22 years ago, Steve Morse joined us. And then there was the new kid on the block, Don Airy, who's been with us nearly for 14 years. And that's about it, I think. And every one of them has played their part in this remarkable family. You know, this is not really for us. I think this award is very much for our families and our business connections, our crew, and our fans who have been absolutely amazing over what's been nearly 50 years. That's it. Thank you. This is great. Roger Glover. Where are you?
Wow, finally we're here. Thank you, Lars, for reading out what I wrote. That's very nice of you. And thank you for all your support and everyone else that supported us over the years. It takes a small army of people for each one of us to actually be here. And, I mean, the word thank you isn't quite enough. Our families, the friends who've put up with us not being there, there's an enormous amount of people we should thank, and I'm not going to go through their names because I can't remember them. But my friends in Deep Purple, Ian Pace, Ian Gillan, John Lord, and Richie Blackmore, changed my life forever. And I'm deeply indebted to them, as I am to all you people for making this possible. The fans rule. You do. But amongst all my family, my daughters, Gillian, Lucinda, and Melody, my love, Miriam, and all those people that have supported us, but not least of all, Bruce Payne, our manager, who's been with us as agent and manager since the early 70s, who's been with us through all the peaks and valleys of our career. Thank you very much. And thank you all for being here. Thank you. Great honor.
Hi. This delightful lady is John Lord's wife, Vicky. And we thought it was really important and necessary that she would be here to represent our good pal who left us 4 years ago. So Vicky's going to hold on to this, even though it's quite heavy. Okay. Yeah, I'm the guy who's been there from the beginning. I've seen it all, and when I say I've seen it all, I mean it. The good, the bad, the crazy, the stuff you look back on and go, how the hell did we get in that situation? But bands are a weird conglomeration of people. You can work together and you can create wonderful things, and then you find that you can't deal with each other. And that can lead you, like, painting yourself into the corner of the wall. You know, you can see the way out, you just can't get there. And you look back and you just wonder how you could be so stupid. But you do it time and time again. So, you know, it's just, bands are strange creatures. They have a will, soul, a life of their own, and they're beyond understanding. But when it works, it's pretty damn good. In fact, nothing better. So, for me, thank you very much for this honor, and for all the fans that have been with us for years. They thank you too, because it's it's like watching your own football team. If they win, you're part of it, and for the fans, when their heroes get a pat on the back, they feel part of it too. So for them, thank you very much, and have a great night.
Good evening. Not quite as eloquent as my colleagues there. How are you? Nice to see you. Well, first I'd like to express my appreciation and gratitude to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the honor of being inducted in such a regarded institution with so many of my heroes. Hendrix, Miles Davis, Muddy Waters, Otis Redding. Incredible company. I would also like to offer my sincere congratulations to all past and present members of Deep Purple, my incredible musical mentor, Ritchie Blackmore, and particularly the very much missed Tommy Bolin, and of course the immortal John Lord. I'd like to particularly thank all the fans of Deep Purple around the world who not only keep the music alive of the band, but continue to support all the offshoot bands as well. My thanks also extend to the wonderful musicians in my band Whitesnake, Reb Beach, Joel Hoekstra, Michael Devin, Tommy Aldridge, and Michele Lupi, my amazing business team of David Weiss and Associates, John Payne, my friend and lawyer Glenn Davis, my promoters Gary Buck and Rod McSween, and my exceptional tour manager Gideon Hogan. I'm so honored to have with me here tonight my friend and co-producer for almost 30 years, Michael McIntyre, my dear friend and personal assistant, the lovely Christy Lee, and last but not least, my amazing, incredible family. My beautiful children, Jasper and Jessica, and the most inspiring person in my life, my beautiful and beloved wife, Cindy. I love you. I love you all. Music has been there for me when no one else was, so thank you. Be safe, be happy, and don't let anybody make you afraid.
Hello, my name is Glenn Hughes, and I am so grateful to have been given the gift of music. I was born in the United Kingdom, but my soul was born in Detroit. And I found my way to California at 19 years old, brought to America by my friends in the Moody Blues. When I got off the plane in San Francisco, I said, well, this isn't the West Midlands and the Black Country anymore. Do you want to live here? Do you want to live in this country? The answer was very, very clear. I want to thank Roger Glover, actually, for getting me to the Hall of Fame. I replaced him, and I joined the band as a co-lead singer, bass player. We auditioned one man, only one man. That man has been one of my closest friends for 43 years, David Coverdale. To be fortunate enough to play with Ritchie Blackmore, Ian Pace, and one more time, everybody, give it up for John Lord. Please. Last, Virtuoso, look up Virtuoso, and you'll find those three chaps in there. So I want to thank my manager, Paul Geary, and Ernie Bach from PGM Management. I want to thank the greatest girl I've ever known in my entire lifetimes, my wife, soul, and loving partner, Gabrielle Hughes. You take my breath away. I'm so happy for us. A long time ago, a friend of mine said, you've got to keep forever changing. Keep forever changing, because music is the healer. Ladies and gentlemen, my award is dedicated to the fans. God bless you all, and have a lovely, lovely evening.
Hey, Stevie, what's happening? Thank you very much. Thank you so much. We love you. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
To present the Ahmet Ertegun Award for Lifetime Achievement, please welcome star of Lilyhammer and founding member of the E Street Band, Stevie Van Zandt.
Every year, thanks. Every year, in addition to inducting great artists in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we make a special effort to include individuals that have made significant contributions behind the scenes, without whom our magical, mystical, motivational art form would not have as much quality, depth, or longevity. This year, we have chosen to honor the amazing Bertrand Russell Berns, known as Bert Berns. The music industry only had him for 7 years before a damaged heart took him at the age of 38. But I will need the talking speed of Chris Matthews to mention all of the accomplishments of this incredible songwriter, producer, and label boss in my allotted 3 minutes. So here goes. He wrote or co-wrote A Little Bit of Soap, the Jarmels, Twist and Shout for the Top Notes, Isley Brothers, and the Beatles, Cry to Me and Everybody Needs Somebody for Solomon Burke and the Rolling Stones, Down in the Valley for Solomon Burke and Otis Redding, Tell 'Em for the Exciters, I'll Take Good Care of You and Cry Baby for Garnett Mims and Janis Joplin, Baby Let Me Take You Home, the Animals' first single, Here Comes the Night for them, and a week later for Lulu, I Want Candy with and for the Strangeloves and Bow Wow Wow. Hang On Sloopy with the Strangeloves for the McCoys. Are You Lonely for Me, Baby for Freddie Scott. 25 Miles for Edwin Starr, and Piece of My Heart for Irma Franklin and Big Brother and the Holding Company. That's a partial list of his songwriting. As a producer, he took over as house producer at Atlantic from the extraordinary genius duo of Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, a tough act to follow. But he helped the label through a tough time with his success with Solomon Burke, and gave the Drifters a third life with Under the Boardwalk, and lots of other great things. Then for Luther Dixon over at Wand, he produced one of the greatest records of all time with Twist and Shout for the Isley Brothers, the first truly Afro-Cuban rock and roll mambo masterpiece. He had been to Cuba, but we don't have time for that. One of the few Americans to work in England, Shel Talmy is the only other one I can think of, and maybe we'll talk about him next year. Bert Berns produced Here Comes the Night for both them and Lulu over in England. Some other cool things, and came back, produced Piece of My Heart for Irma Franklin and Brown Eyed Girl for Van Morrison. As a record label boss, he gave us the McCoys, Freddie Scott, Irma Franklin, introduced us to a new kid named Neil Diamond, brought in by Jeff Barry and Ellie Greenwich, and found Van Morrison living at home after them broke up and brought him over for Brown Eyed Girl and his first solo album, Blowin' Your Mind, which he certainly did. 2 minutes and 45 seconds, not bad. Any questions? It is my honor to present the Ahmet Ertegun Lifetime Achievement Award to Bert Berns and welcome him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh boy. I was 10 months old when my dad died on December 30th, 1967. And he told our mother, "My children will know me through my music." So we set out to figure out what the hell that meant. What we found was a story greater than fiction and a body of work that had been buried and lost. As the years passed, we watched his peers honored and celebrated, and we wondered, how are we gonna get our dad in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? We realized that only by telling his dramatic life story that he might get recognized for his contribution to music. So we set out to tell his story in stage and film. Joel Selvin's epic biography, Here Comes the Night, the Dark Soul of Bert Berns and the Dirty Business of Rhythm and Blues, led the way, followed by the Broadway-bound musical Piece of My Heart, and the recently completed documentary Bang, the Bert Berns story, directed by my brother and Bob Sarles, which recently premiered at South by Southwest. And here we are. Yeah, here we are. Thank you. This is a fairy tale moment for us. We're so grateful to our family and friends and our amazing team that's behind us. On behalf of my brothers, Brett and Russell, and our mother, Eileen Berns, who couldn't be here tonight, I want to thank the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Foundation and the great torchbearers, Stephen Van Zandt, Paul Schaefer, Doug Morris, and Paul McCartney, who each in their own way helped us get here tonight. If my dad were here, he would want to thank all of his collaborators, the unsung heroes like Jerry Ragavoy, Gary Sherman, Brooks Arthur, Cissy Houston, and so many more. Also the artists such as Solomon Burke, Benny King, the Isley Brothers, the Exciters, and the men and women who made rhythm and blues. But it was Ahmet Ertegun and Jerry Wexler of Atlantic Records who played such a pivotal part in his meteoric 7-year run as songwriter, producer, and label chief. When our dad walked into Atlantic in 1962 and demonstrated Twist and Shout for Jerry Wexler, it was the beginning of a special relationship. There, he followed Lieber and Stoller as staff producer at Atlantic and formed Bang Records, where he launched the careers of Neil Diamond and Van Morrison. And though things ended badly between them, I have no doubt that if our father had lived, they would have continued to make great music together, because the final call that he got on the day he lay down to take a nap in 1967 was from Wexler, who was probably calling to book the next session. My father would have been so proud to get the Ahmet Ertegun Lifetime Achievement Award. And I am so happy to say that, Dad, now we do know you through your music. You made it. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. Believe that. N.W.A, man. I said N.W.A, man. Y'all did it, man. The world's most dangerous group. It's 5 members that I can recall having pivotal roles while forming this type of Voltron, y'all. First off, DJ Yellow, where you at? Hip-hop, man, Compton. His personality, charisma not only poured out into the company that was around him, but it showed whenever he got behind them turntables and production, providing some of the illest breaks, cuts, scratching that only the most elite, I said elite, Compton MCs can spit over, you dig that? Anytime my boy Yella dropped that needle, you knew it was time to get busy, right? Right? MC Ren, the mother, can I cuss? MC Ren, the motherfucking villain. Where you at, baby? The name was just not self-proclaimed. It was proven every single time he stepped behind that microphone. Hardcore lyrics that not only made you jump out your seat, but it felt like you was getting punched in the motherfucking head through them speakers. You dig that? A true cold red every time you heard him rhyme. You dig that? So it was nothing but honesty, stroking from a true tone of a Compton resident. MC Ren, believe that, boy. 100. Yes, sir. Q, where you at, man? I said Ice Cube. The storytelling genius. Every bar had us hanging over our seats. Punchlines, delivery, detailed imagery made you get just a small glimpse of how it was growing up in the city of Compton, you dig what I'm saying? Q was always proven to be one of the greatest MCs to ever step behind the mic. And on a personal level, my debut album, you was the blueprint on how I wanted to approach it. That's for real, you dig what I'm saying? So salute to that. That's 100. Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre. The scientist, the perfectionist, the producer extraordinaire. My mentor, you dig what I'm saying? This dude right here taught me a lot as far as never being satisfied with the work you do on and off the record, whether I'm on the mic, whether I'm out in life in general. Always taught me that. Number two, make sure you take care of your music and your family each and every single day. I never forget them words. You dig what I'm saying? And since my first day meeting, you always gave me the energy saying, superstar. You never called me Kendrick Lamar. So that gave me to believe what I was doing and also make me have the energy of knowing that I was doing it right, and then I became it. So I appreciate you for that every time. And with that being said, not only on a personal level, when I met Dre, it was way before I actually met him personally. It was on a music end, you dig what I'm saying? So let me say this. Dre has provided N.W.A with unapologetic production made on high-level soundtracks for hardcore lyrics. You could never press play without having an extra pair of Kenwood speakers, you know what I'm talking about, woofers, you dig what I'm saying, tweeters, you dig what I'm saying, without having them blown out. Every single beat, hi-hat, snare made you break your neck, leaving Andre Young to be one of the most greatest producers of all time, and still to this day. Believe that, that's real. Last but not least, the legendary, the late great Eric Easy-E Wright. He was a true mastermind, a businessman, an incredible entertainer. His persona was unmatched. His confidence spoke with abundance. His high-pitched tone spoke to nations around the world, y'all. There was no better voice to point across other than Eazy-E. He is the gatekeeper of reality rap. He's the reason why I'm proud to stand on the stage and rep Compton. He's the reason why we're proud to have songs like Dope Man, Express Yourself. I said, fuck the police, express yourself. Boys in the Hood. These are the records that made LA known all across the world, you dig that? It was dubbed gangster rap. But what it was for me, it was an intimate look at what was actually happening in our community in Los Angeles, and in Compton in particular. Chuck D once said rap and hip hop was the black CNN. N.W.A. represent that to the fullest, am I right? Bringing inner city life to the forefront and making the world pay attention to our realities. Even myself, I looked around and I seen people N.W.A. spoke for, whether it was my cousin, whether it was my uncle, claiming Compton crib, or came and bumped in Piru, they was all influenced. That's real, y'all probably don't know about that. Y'all looking at me like I'm crazy, but they know. They was all influenced and they was all, you know, had a deep impression, but one thing that was a big misconception, the impression wasn't just to go out and kill people. To be clear, to be very clear, the fact that a famous group can be looked just like one of us, can dress like one of us, talk like one of us, prove to every single kid in the ghetto that you can be successful and still have your voice while doing it. That was N.W.A. That was their true message. And I know each and every one of them said they never wanted to be role models, but look, the first time I seen Eazy bust through that screen out the jail cell on stage on We Want Easy, I felt like each and every single one of them was black superheroes where I come from, you dig what I'm saying? Because it showed, like I said, people from our community can be on that television screen, be on awards, and still have that voice and be real to themselves. So make some noise for that, because that's the realest thing probably going on in hip-hop and the world. But as you know the history, a lot of people said it was too gangster. It was too much for them. But for me, it was honest. So I'm gonna put it like this. Being gangster symbolizes a hustle that you could change your reality. The true meaning of gangster. Being able to show what it takes to be the world's biggest music group. Being gangster is forming iconic labels, Ruthless Records, Death Row, Aftermath Records. Being gangster is branding out to becoming a movie star, a movie producer, and having your own son play you as a retrospect in your career, straight out of Compton. Being gangster changes the way people listen to music by being so obsessed with sound that you create your own headphones and force people and fans around the world to listen to deep, intricate sounds the way you only hear, you dig that? Being gangster is partnering with the biggest tech companies in the world and launching groundbreaking music on a whole nother platform. So now, after 30 years of being heard, being gangster is being inducted into the Rock of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my big homies, N.W.A. What's up?
Yeah. First off, I want to thank Kendrick Lamar for those beautiful words. Kendrick Lamar is one of the best that ever did it, and it's not a doubt in my mind that he'll be on this stage one day in the future being inducted. You feel me? So yeah, it's been 30 years, exactly 30 years since we formed the group N.W.A. Back then, we weren't thinking about fame or fortune or anything like that. We were just some kids in the studio having fun, recording, you know what I mean? And these guys right here, these are the first people that I had the opportunity to record with before any business was involved. You know what I mean? Imagine that, recording with no business involved. And I'm quite sure everybody in the music industry, especially those that make music, understand how precious those times are, you know? Back then, yeah, feel that. Back then, there were a lot of people against us and had problems with what we were saying, and I get it, I understand. You know, they weren't ready for us. The name of our group alone is shocking. Niggas with attitudes, you feel me? Wish this was taller. But this is proof. This is proof to all the kids out there growing up in places similar to Compton that anything is possible. You feel me? And me and the guy standing right here, we're absolutely no different or better than any of you. Feel me? Feel me? You just have to find that thing that's special about you that distinguishes you from all the others and apply true talent, hard work, and passion, and anything can happen. Now I'd like to talk about one of the first people who believed in me, the first person to invest in my talent. Me and this guy used to argue all the time in the studio, but at the end of the day, we both realized that we were out for the same goal, and that was to make great music. And I'm talking about Eazy-E. Make some noise for Eazy-E. Yeah, I'd like to thank Eric Wright. There's no way that we would be on this stage right now as N.W.A. being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame without him. Real talk. Also would like to thank all the artists that I collaborated with throughout my career. These guys are like my angels, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say your names, there's too many of you guys, but you know who you are. I feel like I made some really great tracks throughout my career, but without their voices, these tracks would be nothing, you know? I definitely wanna thank these guys standing behind me, Ice Cube, MC Ren, DJ Yella. Gotta thank my bros for a lifetime of great memories. I'd like to thank my legal team. Where are you? I know you out there. Yeah, Howard King, Peter Paterno, thank you for keeping the snakes off my back. You feel me? Ashley Palmer, thank you. Now, I'm not gonna take up too much more time. I just wanna thank all the people that gave me life, changed my life, and saved my life. First, I'd like to thank my mother, in my opinion, one of the strongest people on this planet. I'd like to thank her for keeping me on the straight and narrow and not allowing the streets of Compton to swallow me, you know? I'd like to thank the person that changed my life, Jimmy Iovine. Real talk. Seriously, my life would not be what it is today without his guidance and advice. And I would like to thank the person that saved my life. Really, my wife, Nicole. Yeah. It's a 100% fact that I wouldn't be here without her. Thank you, babe. I love you. And I'd like to finish by saying thank you to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and everybody responsible for inducting us. This is a great honor. I really appreciate it. I've always dreamed about this. Man, thank you so much. One love.
First of all, I'd like to thank God, the man that blessed me, that blessed all of us and all of you to be here tonight for this, you know, all the rock and roll groups, everybody. I would just want to say thank you, God. I'd like to thank Cube, Ren, Dre, and my long-lost buddy, Eazy-E. I mean, it was very, emotional when he passed years ago. He was a great friend, good business partner. He just brung the light. He had the money, of course, but, but We did something right here is a fraternity that nobody can buy in, lie in, cheat their way in. It's only us, and it's for life, for the rest of our lives. Easy here is here in spirit. I like to thank a couple of women. I like to thank a couple of women tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank Easy's mother right here. Come up here, mother. This is my new mom now. I call her mom all the time. You ready to go to the casino, mama? And I'd like to thank another Miss Wright, Tamika Wright. I'd like to thank you very much. I'd like to thank my wife, 2.5 years. Take a picture, honey. That is my soulmate for the rest of my life. I'd like to thank, the group broke up 1991. And it's so crazy, the group was put on pause. 26 years later, Universal woke us up with a movie called Straight Outta Compton. And I'd like to thank all the actors, especially you, Shay. All the actors, Corey, Jason, Aldis, and my character, Neil Brown, for doing a wonderful job on the movie. I thank you for that. It was a great movie. And I also like to thank Lonzo's girlfriend. You know what I'm talking about. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. But I really just like to thank all the fans, not just the fans that voted us for the past 4 years to get here, but the fans, not even the new fans that just seen the movie and became fans all over the world, but all the fans, even the original fans from back in the swap meet at the Rodeum with Steve Yano. I want to thank everybody that hated us, loved us, or liked us. I want to say thank you, God bless you, and thank you, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
First off, I want to say all praise is due to God. I want to thank the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I want to thank my group, Dre, Cube, Yella, especially Easy. Without his vision, we wouldn't be up here tonight. I want to thank my parents, my wife Yasmin, my kids. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank all the great hip-hop groups that came before us and laid the blueprint that was inspirational and a big influence to us and the hip-hop culture. I want to say thank you to them. Thank you to all the fans. And I want to say to Mr. Gene Simmons, hip-hop is here forever. Get used to it. Get used to it.
Believe that.
Peace.
We supposed to be here.
Yeah, yay. Thank you. Wow, man, this is real, very exciting for us. We're very humble tonight. We've come a long way, from being so hated, even in the industry, to making it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it shows that you believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing. Nobody can stop you. You can only stop yourself, and that's what got us here, and I'm very grateful and humble tonight. I'd like to thank my parents, Doris, Hosey Jackson, my brothers and sisters, Clyde, Pat, Sophie, for putting up with them turntables and them Serum Vegas and them speakers and all that damn noise we was making. I'd like to thank my lovely wife, Kimberly, who's been there since day one, through the thick, the thin, and the thick again. And my kids, Daryl, O'Shea Jr., Karima, and Sharif. Thank you for putting up with this crazy life of mine and entertainment, this crazy schedule.
You guys make everything normal for me. You guys make everything normal, and I love y'all for that. Hey, you don't make it to the hall by yourself. I like to thank Sir Jinx for teaching me how to rap on beat. I'd like to thank Pat Charbonnet, my first manager, who told me to watch out for Jerry Heller's ass. I'd like to thank Michael Ashburn for also helping me through that time. I'd like to thank Lee Young, who's been with me for, it seemed like my whole career, and he's walked me through this crazy business. I'd like to thank people like Donovan Smith. I'd like to thank, people like Brian Turner, Mark Cerami, Big Bass Brian, Madeline Smith, and these guys back here, man. Starting with Dr. Dre. Man, thank you so much, Dre. I wouldn't be here without you at all. And thank you for believing in a 15-year-old B-boy, letting me ditch school and hang out with you and make music. Stay in school, kids, goddammit. MC Ren, who's always the ruthless villain. He's our temperament in N.W.A. He's our conscience. He keeps us on track. DJ Yella, man, thank you, man, he kept it fun, as you can see. DJ Yella kept it fun. Even when the whole world seemed like it was against us, DJ Yella was just like, fuck that, where the party at? And we love him for that. I want to thank DOC, who's, he's a member of N.W.A. too, because he helped write a lot of lyrics. I know Ice Cube gets a lot of the credit, but it was a team effort with me, Ren, DOC, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E. And so I want to acknowledge DOC for being down for so long, and I wish he was here. Yo, and to the man, the late great, often imitated, but never duplicated, Easy motherfucking E. This is his vision. He wanted us to be honest. He wanted us to be truthful, say what we feel. He didn't care if we got any record play. He didn't even care if we got signed to a major label. All he cared about was for our story to be recognized and heard. So we love Easy. We miss him. I think about him all the time because, he was such a smart businessman and he knew the pulse of the people. So we're gonna miss Eazy-E, and we're grateful to his family for allowing us to do the Straight Outta Compton movie. And we just feel blessed for Eazy-E's life, and I hope we all remember him forever. Now, the question is, are we rock and roll? And I say you're goddamn right, we rock and roll. See, rock and roll is not an instrument. Rock and roll is not even a style of music. Rock and roll is a spirit. It's a spirit. It's been going since the blues, jazz, bebop, soul, R&B, rock and roll, heavy metal, punk rock, and yes, hip hop. And what connects us all is that spirit. That's what connects us all, that spirit. Rock and roll is not conforming to the people who came before you, but creating your own path in music and in life. That is rock and roll, and that is us. So, rock and roll is not conforming, rock and roll is outside the box, and rock and roll is N.W.A. I want to thank everybody who helped induct us into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I just want to tell the world, damn, that shit was dope. Thank you. We out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Thomas.
What's going on, Brooklyn? Saturday in the park? Does anybody really know what time it is? If you leave me now, 25 or 624. Feeling stronger every day, wishing you were here. I'm gonna tell you a story. These songs are the sound of a city. They're the sounds of a melting pot. They're the sounds of unity, and they're the sounds of Chicago. In 1967, a group of musicians came together, and they were weaving their city's diverse musical influences into one bold, beautiful sound. And it was a sound that was built on a tight R&B beat, beefed up with big band horns, and jolted with riffs from Terry Kath, who is one of the best and most underrated guitar players of all time. Just like everybody else, they were seeing the war in Vietnam on television. They were seeing the National Guard on the streets of Chicago. They were seeing the marches in the South. They were being discriminated against because of their long hair, and they wanted a revolution too. But all of their unrest came through the music and the lyrics. Diverse, harmonious, powerful. So, Terry Kath, Walker Parazader, Danny Seraphine, Lee Loughnane, James Pankow, Robert Lamb, and Peter Cetera formed the Chicago Transit Authority, and then with a shrewd bit of editing, lightened it down to Chicago. Now, if you're gonna take the name of one of America's great cradles of jazz, blues, rock, and soul, you gotta be more than just another rock band. And this is not a soft rock band. This is not a jazz band. Chicago is a bona fide rock and roll band with horns. Big, bold horns that were pumping fists, hitting harder than any drum line ever could. So let's talk about the kind of stones that these guys have. All right? Their first album was a double album. That, my friends, is balls of steel. Second album, double album. Third album, also a double album. 3 double albums in a row to start their career. And what do they call those albums? Chicago 1, Chicago 2, Chicago 3, fucking fearless. They sold more than 100 million records. 21 top 10 singles, 5 consecutive #1 albums, 11 #1 singles, and 5 gold singles. An incredible 25 of their incredible 34 albums have been certified platinum, and the band has a total of 47 gold and platinum awards. Fuck yeah. Now, people say a lot of things about Chicago, and I know that badass generally is not one of them. But just remember this. When Jimi Hendrix met them for the first time, he told them that their horn section sounded like one set of lungs and that their guitar player, Terry, was better than him. That, kids, is badass. So if you think that Chicago is your mom's band, then man, I want to party with your mom. These guys are legends. They're true musicians, and they're a badass rock band with horns. It is my honor to finally induct Terry Kath, Peter Cetera, Danny Seraphine, Walter Parazader, Lee Loughnane, James Pankow, and Robert Lamb, Chicago, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Feels pretty damn good right now, I have to tell you. Thanks to the Hall of Fame for this great honor. This band started on February 15th, 1967, when we played together for the first time in my basement. We never thought we'd be standing up here at this time. Wow. Phew. I'd like to thank my brothers up here for the incredible experience of creating and playing music with them, as well as Terry Kath, our good friend and great guitar player. We miss him. I'd like to thank my wife of 49, actually almost 50 years, Jacqueline. You're my angel, inspiration, and lifesaver. And I love you madly. I'd like to thank my daughters, Laura and Felicia, and son-in-law, Brian, for his support and understanding, and for everything that was important in their lives growing up that I missed. I love you dearly. We have a lot of friends in radio, but I'd like to thank Tom Cuddy and Scott Shannon and Dick Biondi. And also a couple, and I should let you clap for those three guys. They're really great. How about that? Also, we've had two great road managers, and that's Steve Brumbach and Jack Gowdy. Both of them, they're some of the best in the business, I have to say. Last and not the least is our manager, who's believed in us for well over 30 years. And you've kept us working. I don't know how you do it. I get tired just thinking about it. That's Peter Chivarelli. And he's done that for 30 years. Thank you, Peter. And you kept us working the whole time. And I have to say, you're a great friend, and you have a heart of gold. And I'm biased because I'm from the neighborhood in Chicago, 12th and Pulaski. We go back 60 years. So God bless you, Peter. Thank you. And lastly, to the fans out there for making it happen for us day after day and year after year. We're not going anywhere. We're going to keep going. So thank you. And you ain't seen nothing yet.
I want to first acknowledge and thank all the audiences that come to see us play year after year, and the millions of fans. And if any one of you voted online and added to the 37 million people who voted for us to get into the Hall of Fame finally, thank you. I want to congratulate our fellow inductees. Thank you for your music. Thank you for your creativity. and we are flattered to be among you tonight. And thank you to the Hall of Fame for this honor. We, if only for the opportunity to thank all the people that have helped make all this a reality. We, as I've heard said earlier tonight, this is not something you can do by yourself. In this case, Walt, Danny, Lee, James, Terry, my brothers in the band, I would not be standing here without them. But I have to say, the current band, Jason Sheff, Keith Howland, Tristan Bowden, Wilfredo de los Reyes Jr., and yes, Ray Herman, Peter Cetera. All these guys, all these musicians have taught me so much about music and about living. I want to take this time also to thank the effervescent Peter Chiavarelli, our manager. He has been our offense and defense since forever. He's somehow found a way to keep us working for almost 50 years. We love you, Peter. You are a generous gentleman. I'm trying to do this without my notes, so please excuse the pausing. But I'm a lucky man because I've had the love and support of my beautiful wife, Joy, for 25 years now. I love you so much, honey. And our 3 daughters somehow found a way to get here tonight from all over the country. Sean, Kate, Sasha, I love you so much. I know there's other stuff in here that I was going to say, more business type stuff, but I will acknowledge all the team at CAA who take all of Peter's phone calls 24 hours a day and find a way to keep us working. So thank you once again, Hall of Fame. Thank you tonight. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
How you doing? I'm Lee Loughnane.
Yeah!
This is pretty interesting. I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are too. We're new at this. I have my cue card right here that doesn't come up over there. So I wrote something down with iPhone. Yeah, life has many ups and downs, but I've been blessed with 3 things that have never failed me: music, my trumpet, as long as I keep practicing, that is, and the guys in this band. So thank you guys. They've kept me solid. And as we've been saying, we've got the best manager in the business. Look, he's on the phone right now, setting something up. He's like an Energizer bunny. He never needs batteries, though. He just keeps going and going and going and going. Unbelievable. Thanks, Peter. And I want to thank our millions of fans around the world. They came in here, and the first nomination voted 37+ million times to get us in here. So even though it was 1 vote, it was a big one. Big. So, and I want to thank, besides all the business people that have already been mentioned, I want to thank my mom and dad, brothers and sister who are here tonight. Doc Severinsen, John Nuzzo, Paul Witt, Rich Rajeski, Tom Fabish, and especially my kids, Kat River, Dylan, Brian, and Lee David. They probably had it the hardest because I've been gone such a big part of their lives. And, but here we are. And lastly, I want to thank my ex-wives for making sure that I have to keep working. Thank God, I love it. Thank you, guys. All right.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Pankow. Only a name. This is, wow, this is amazing. We never thought we'd make it. We did. And, you know, it's a milestone. A family who I love very much, 2 women, Karen and my wife Jeannie, who sustains me every day, delivered me 4 beautiful kids. They all are a source of inspiration at all times. My brothers in the band, my other family, all of the hardworking, intelligent professionals in this industry that were very instrumental in delivering this musical message to the world. 37 million fans that stepped up and cast your votes. Many of you are here tonight. All of us on this stage don't mean a damn without you. And the Hall of Fame. Thank you for finally inviting us into your house. You did a good thing.
I'm Danny fucking Seraphin. Can you hear me? Is my mic on? Okay, I won't yell then. I've been kind of away for 25 years, in case you noticed, or haven't noticed, probably haven't noticed, but this is, I want to thank the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for making this possible. I'm going to get to play with my band for the first time in 25 years. I want to tell you a story about a band of brothers. 1968, we're at a Dodger game. Going to see the Cubs play the Dodgers. Peter Cetera gets in a fight with a Marine. Bad idea. He got his jaw broken, right? Took him to the hospital. They wired his mouth shut. 10 days later, he's on the fucking road performing his ass off. Now that's balls. When Rob said badass, it was a badass band. That gave me so much belief that we could do anything. You know, fast forward 6 years, Robert is playing basketball backstage, trying to dunk. White people can't dunk, Robert. He breaks his fucking leg. We miss a gig. The next day, he's got a full cast, and he's playing B3 for 6 more weeks. That's what this band was all about. And that's why one of the reasons we were so successful, in my opinion, is what we lived together, as most bands do. We cried together, we fought together, we fucked together. Did I really say that? We died together. We had to bury one of our best friends. Our hearts were broken. I miss him every day. Terry Kath. As every band has spoken, it takes a village to do what we do, and you can't thank them all, but I have to thank James William Guercio. He gave us our name, right? Just pointed us in the right direction, paid our bills, and gave us enough money to eat for 6 months while we conceived Chicago Transit Authority. And there's Howard Kaufman, who always made sure we had good business, right? Jack Gowdy always had our back for many years, our road manager for 18 years or more than that, till he tragically passed away. Larry Fitzgerald, we had a dream
team management team, and you can't do it without a dream team manager. If you have bad management, no matter how good you are, you're done. So we've been really blessed, and the producers we've been able to work with, David Foster, right? Made amazing records for us. Phil Ramone, the great Phil Ramone, Tom Dowd, Ron Neverson, Chaz Sanford. I want to thank a few more people that really, really made major contributions. Please wrap it up. Screw you. I've waited 25 fucking years for this. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, we got to thank Bill Champlin, Donnie Dacus, Laugier de Oliveira. Please, give them what they deserve. Chris Pennick, Dwayne Bailey. Have I forgotten anybody? No. Even my bandmates are telling me to get the fuck off. Hey! So anyways, tonight I get to play with them for the first time in 25 years. I'm gonna enjoy it. We're gonna burn up the stage. I want you to meet Terry's daughter, Michelle.
I'm trying to imagine, what my dad would say right now, since I'm accepting on his behalf. And he wasn't too into fame, but I think he would be beyond honored and extremely excited to be recognized, along with his very talented bandmates, for this great honor in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I'd just like to thank you guys for letting me get to know my dad through his music, and the fans. I see you with the Terry Cat sign over there. Thank you, Hall of Fame, for getting Chicago in and honoring this amazing band.
Thank you.
Saturday in the park, I think it was the 4th of July.
I was walking down the street one day. A pretty lady looked at me and said her diamond watch had stopped cold dead. And I said, does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care about that? And if so, I care.
And now, Kid Rock.
Two. Has anybody been keeping tabs on what the fuck is going on here tonight? Quick recap in my mind. Who knew Lars Ulrich, the fucking drummer from Metallica, was such a great speaker, right? Awesome. And you got Ice Cube telling kids to stay in school. And then the drummer from Chicago turns out to be the fucking badass who's like, fuck the establishment, I'll do what I want. As long as we're keeping it real, I'd just like to really quickly address the issue of drugs in America. If you do drugs, kids, there's a good chance you're gonna ruin your life. But there's also a pretty good fucking chance you'll end up in a band and be rich and bang hot chicks and write great songs. So, whatever. Fucking crazy. All right, here's a little secret about bands. We all think we're great live, right? There's not a band in this room or in the world that doesn't think it's really a live band. You think you can rip the roof off of any room. You think you can make a basement club feel like the Garden. And you think you do it better than anyone else. Then you go and see Cheap Trick. That's when you think, man, we kind of suck. I better step up my game. They're a club band, a bar band, a working band in every sense of those words. They're relentless, they're precise, powerful. If she's tight, they're tighter. It's a little innuendo. When disco and soft rock were taking over our radios, thank God I wasn't alive then, they were exactly what we needed. A garage band in sheep's clothing. They had a punk soul, a pop heartbeat, and Beatles ambitions. Shit. They even worked with George Martin. And he said Cheap Trick was his favorite band to work with that wasn't from Liverpool. I didn't write that line. You can't not watch them. Their frontman's a matinee idol who can growl, croon, or swagger. And their guitarist, this fucking nicotine gum sucks. I'm trying. And their guitarist looks like a Bowery boy on acid. I remember those days. But plays as clean and tight as his bow tie. It felt like they were always on stage. Every throwaway gig, every photo, shoot, every interview, they worked the room like it was Soldier Field. No studio could do them justice, though. Cheap Trick was so big, so loud, so fast, that it took a live album to capture their fury, Bruce Lee fury, you know, Fists of Fury. Surrender, I Want You to Want Me. These are great songs, but live, they became anthems. It took us a while to figure it out. They were made in the USA, but Japan caught on before we did. A lot of bands say, we're big in Japan, man. I'm fucking big in Kentucky. But Cheap Trick is the only one they called the American Beatles. Big accolade.
After that, the world exploded for them. It looked like success came out of nowhere. But trust me, they worked for it. Of course they did. They've got Midwestern heart. They got Illinois shoulders. That's why today, more than 40 years later, 40 fucking years, Jesus, and more than 5,000 gigs, they're still going strong. They've been on the ropes. They've been knocked down, but they never stopped. And they're still out there, racking up the miles and playing every show like it's their first. You don't think so? These crazy fucks got 3 more gigs this week. What the fuck is... Jesus. Probably a lot of ex-wives. I'm recycling shit. I'm not that creative. I'm a rapper. We sample. Maybe it's that Midwestern work ethic, or maybe it's because, as they put it, we're too dumb to quit. Either way, we're glad they put in the hours. So I'm honored to induct from Rockford, Illinois, by the way of Budokan, Rick Nielsen, Buddy Carlos, Robin Zander, and Tom Peterson. Get out your seats. Welcome Cheap Trick to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Bob. This was such a surprise to all of us, and a real honor for us. You know, we've never won anything before. Well, there was a few albums, 40 gold and platinum records. That's the only thing. But Steve Miller and Chicago, Deep Purple, Bert Berns and N.W.A. Congratulations, it's about time. You're much older than us, so you should have been in a long time ago. And for those of you who don't know, I'm Robin. I'm the one who sings those Cheap Trick songs. Thank you. And who knew that I want you to want me would become such a defining phrase for a rock band from Rockford, Illinois. Seems like such a stupid phrase, but it works, I guess. Music's always been my savior. It found me at an early age. Music has worth, and it's all I've ever done for my living. You can write retirement on my tombstone. Of course, along with this business of ours comes corruption and jealousy, stealing, backstabbing, resentment, lawsuits, etc. And that's just the road crew. I think you know what I mean. My father liked the boogie woogie and that swing music, and he'd play the ivories for anyone who would listen. My mother, she read to me a lot when I was young. She bought me my first set of drums from Sears when I was 7. Yeah, poor, but 5 kids had a good life, and I'm grateful. I miss them. May they both rest in peace, along with my brothers Jack and Lenny. Holland and Ian, I know I wasn't the best father, nor was I the worst, but I was gone a lot, yes, but I know I love you very much. In 1974, we rehearsed 3 times in Rick's dad's garage, never stopped touring since. And now here we are being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah. Who knew? Who knew? We didn't know. Thanks to Jack Douglas that's here with my other two kids, Robin Saylor and Robin Taylor. Thanks to Jack, we were given the chance to prove that the world what we thought we were all along in this world we were the best fucking rock band your town has ever seen. Venues and recording studios around the world, that's where we wanted to hang. To our managers, record companies, agencies, and their staffs throughout our career, we owe you a debt of gratitude. Working with Vector, CAA, Scott Borchetta, and Julian Raymond from Big Machine, we now have a new tour this summer and a record out called Bang Zoom Crazy Hello. Oh, Lord have mercy. I forgot about that. Anyway, our fans really deserve this honor more than anyone for sticking up for us as long as they have. I know that's been tough over the years. But most of all, thanks to this band, Cheap Trick, for giving me a life I'd always dreamed of, and their families for putting up with this for over 40 years. I'll never forget this night, a night I could call my own. Pamela Jean, nobody does me like you do. And I love you so. And to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Glenn, it's your turn to change the channel.
Greetings from Venezuela. Anybody here from Rockford? All right, Rockford. The first time I heard Rick's name was in 4th grade. My older sister Jan was in 6th grade, and she came home from school. She's complaining about a new kid named Nielsen was throwing rocks at her. True. A year and a half later, the Beatles arrived. Soon Rick was gigging with the Grim Reapers. Tom was with the Boll Weevils, and I was with the Pagans. After high school, at junior college, I met a guy named Brian Beebe. He was in a duo with a guy named Robin. Brian and Robin were looking for a band to play some school rec nights. I had a band, so we played Cream, Who, and Beatles songs every Friday night that fall. It was good. 3 more years later, a few more bands later, the 4 guys from Cheap Trick were together. 42 years later, we made it here. It's pretty cool. Thanks, guys. I have some thanks to give. I'd like to thank my wife, Ellen, and all the McCarty family. To my parents, Ed and Vi Carlson, thanks for the drum set, Mom. My brothers and sisters, Kurt, Jan, Mark, Ginny D, and Edwin, I'm sorry I plundered your record collections. Kurt, your copy of The Twist got me into the drums. Jan, you got me into Bob Dylan. That was really cool. Of course, thanks to all my Cheap Trick bandmates, Rick, Tom, Robin, John, Pete, Zeno, Sluggo, the drum choirs, Hank and Keith, all the keyboard players, and one bagpiper from Memphis. Thanks, you guys. From Epic Records, thanks to Jim Charney, who was the first label guy to dig us. From CBS International, thanks to Lois Marino, Japan wouldn't have been the same without you. All my drum techs, from Jim and Muzzy to Matt, you were all great. To my 3 managers, Ken Adamani, Larry Mazer, and Dave Fry, you guys managed to get me this far. Thank you very much. Special thanks to Tom Werman, Sir George, and all the producers of our records. We always had the best producers and the best engineers, bar none. There's 2 people I'd be hanging with if they were still here, Buddy Miller and John Candace. I still miss you guys, too. Thanks. And big, big thanks to all the fans and supporters who bought our records, concert tickets, and T-shirts. Thanks, you guys. You did it.
All right. Wow. Yeah. Well, as a little kid in the 60s, I saw the Beatles on the Jack Parr show, then on the Ed Sullivan show. And I knew that was a world I wanted to be a part of. My parents were raised during the Depression, and they were taught to sacrifice and to conform. My dad wanted to play the violin as a kid, but everybody laughed at him, and it never happened. And
And despite his not understanding or even approving of the music I loved, he gave me my first guitar at the age of 14. And Rick and I went to London in 1968. Remember that, Rick? Yeah, okay. We went there to see firsthand the music that inspired us. The Beatles, the Stones, Hendrix, Deep Purple. I feel lucky that we were in the midst of the most incredible music revolution the world has ever seen. For a couple of kids from Rockford, Illinois, shopping on Kings Road, going to the Marquee Club, the Roundhouse, it was the coolest thing imaginable. We knew that rock and roll was what we wanted to do, and it inspired us to play our own original music. When we united with Robin and Bunny, we knew we really had something. We rehearsed in Rick's parents' garage and drove endlessly throughout the Midwest in a crummy Pontiac Bonneville with no heat, no air conditioning. We were considering getting a keyboard player in the band, but we looked at each other and no one wanted to sit in the middle seat, so we said, forget that idea. I don't know how Chicago ever did it. Jesus. Must have had 2 cars. We were turned down by countless labels, and then one night in the middle of the winter in Waukesha, Wisconsin, at the Sunset Bowling Alley, Sir Jack Douglas saw our group and agreed to produce our first album if we secured a record deal. Jack, at the time, was the most successful producer in rock, and his endorsement of us led immediately to a bidding war from record labels. Jack, we're forever indebted to you, and we love you. John Sykes was our college rep in Buffalo, New York, and he was the first one who broke us on radio. Rodney Bingenheimer, Rodney on the Rocks and K-Rock in Los Angeles. He was our first advocate in radio on the West Coast. Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, thanks so much for believing in us and putting us in front of the world on our first major tour. All of you guys saw something in us in the beginning that no one else did. Through the years, our road crew and our fans have kept us going for more than 40 years. My brother Jim, he was our first crew member, and we thank you, Jim, for being here tonight with us. Thank you so much to our tour manager, Carla Dragati. Carla, you kept us on the track and tell us where to go and where to be and what to do for 20 years. You know, we never dreamed we'd make a living making music, much less keep it going for a lifetime. Rick, Robin, Bunny, and now Dax, it's been a great ride. My father and mother believed in me against all odds. I want to pass that on to my kids. Thanks to my son, Liam, we have discovered that music can help children who have autism and find their voices. That's right. With my wife, Allison, and my daughter, Lila, we created Rock Your Speech to help kids with autism communicate and practice speech with rock and roll music. Music therapists around the world are doing great work to help people with neurological disorders recover. Thank you so much to Scott Borchetta, our producer Julian Raymond, Ken Levitan, and Kevin Spellman for believing in us as relevant artists today. It's amazing that we still are writing, recording music, and we are grateful for everyone's continued support. To all of our longtime friends, family, and fans, and a lot of you are here tonight, thank you. We are truly honored to be here. Music does matter. Music has value. Let's keep rock and roll alive for future generations, making sure people can continue making a living following their creative dreams. Thank you, you motherfucker.
Yeah! I'm Rick, and I'm the last speaker of the night. So I thought I'd keep it a little bit short here. My parents were opera singers. I didn't want to play opera because I wasn't good enough. And I didn't want to play their music. I wanted to play the music that I wanted to play. And I'm so lucky that today I get to play that music, even though I don't like every song I write. And I have a present here for Steve Miller, because I've got a Miller guitar for him. I wanted to give it to him a long time ago. Steve's a great guy. I have a big guitar collection, and I don't like to give anything away, but Steve Miller, I love you, man, and thank you. He gave me a guitar about 10 years ago. Okay, now get out of here. All the people that we did thank, and Tom thanked, and Bunny thanked, and Robin thanked, they're my brothers. I'm an only child, and so they're my brothers. I'd kill for them, and I'd feel like killing them most of the time, too. And one other thing, we're going to play in a couple of minutes here. Okay, I'll cut it short. I thank my wife of 46 years. And in the next 2 months, I should be at number 8 and number 9 grandchildren. And thank you for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for charging so much that I didn't have to bring them all out here. And one sad note, instead of going through all the people that we love and that have helped us through our whole career, and thank you to all our fans, I'd like to say a special thanks to the greatest person besides my father that I ever met, George Martin. And now my third favorite guy, Kid Rock. Let's go play!
To want me. Shine out my old brown shoes. I put on a brand new shirt. I get home early from work. If you say that you love me, do you like, see you crying? Oh, do you like, see you crying? Feeling all alone with that feeling that I feel like dying. Oh, do you like, see you crying? I want me.
Thank you very much.
And those rumors ain't nice. And when I fall asleep, I do think I survived that night. That night, 'cause you wait for me, then don't give me. Every single night, they're driving me insane. Those men inside my brain. The dream police, they never shot a light. The dream police, they come to me and I mean. The dream police coming to arrest me. Oh no. Well, I can't tell lies 'cause they're listening to me. And when I fall asleep, bet they're spying on me. Tonight, 'cause you wait for me, they're looking for me. They're driving me insane. Those men inside my I tried to sleep, they wide awake, they won't let me alone. They don't get paid to take vacations or let me alone. They spy on me, I try to hide, they won't let me alone. They cruise right here, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame! Every single night, they're driving me insane. it's going right. Mommy's alright, daddy's alright, it just seems a little weird. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away. Recruited old maids for the war, but mommy isn't one of those I've known her all these years. Mommy's alright, daddy's alright, they just seem a little weird. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away.
Well, let's see. We've got the only one. I'm a little pissed off because I wanted to have N.W.A. I wanted to do a song with those guys. I thought, you know, we could be like Aerosmith and Run DMC, and we'd be famous and play cool shit. Okay, here we go.
heart. Now we're apart and out of shame. My tears fell like rain and out of shame. You're the one to blame.
Thank you all. We love you guys. Drive careful, be good to each other. It's time to party.
Thank you for coming to our show. Be safe. Good night.